Our trip began like always, trapped by traffic. When we want to escape Long Island, we have to fight for it. And that means New York City traffic. We try to time it so that it's not rush hour. Believe it or not, this is making good time.
But this time we had pretty nice country. I believe this is Maryland. We're in Maryland. I had no idea. I still can't believe this is Maryland. I had no idea. Did you know Maryland could look like this? There's cows on the front lawn. Welcome camping, West Virginia. Yeah, we just got here. It's snowing. And the pavement just ended over there. We are going to tear down because as soon as the pavement ended, it turned into washboard road. So I'm going to take it down to about 18 PSI. So we'll get to the campsite faster. We're going to Red Creek Campground. And as you can hear, I woke up with a cold this morning.
We drove up to Dolly Sods Wilderness at the Monongahela National Forest. It's at an elevation of about 4,000 feet. This is the starting point of the Allegheny Discovery route. We were expecting a dusting of snow, but what we got was a little worse. 6 to 8 inches worse. This has kind of been our luck on our past few trips, but we just keep coming back for more. How was the spring break?
What's that? What, like you're bowing? What?
Bowing out.
So who's driving?
Look at this.
How much would you say this is?
Ooh.
It's 5 or 6 inches. No, that's just a high spot. It's more like 4 inches. Dolly Sods is one long straight road.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, it's like perfectly straight.
Wow.
I think the snow died a little bit. It's just the trees.
Yeah, there it is. Sods. It's April, spring break. Check your calendar. After playing snowplow with the truck to pack down the snow, it was time for setting up. This was to be what we consider a true overlanding trip. Pete planned out a 3-day route where we'd set up camp each night in a new dispersed site, and each day would be a new leg on the Allegheny Discovery route. For a lot of our trips, we tend to base camp, which means we camp in the same spot for the whole trip and then go off-roading from there. We recently retired our CVT Mount Shasta rooftop tent. With the lift and the tires on Stompy, breaking down a rooftop tent proved to be too difficult and time-consuming for our rig. So we moved on to a Gazelle T4 and a Gazelle T4 Plus. For this trip, we wanted fast and easy, so we decided to try out the smaller T4 for the first time. Setting it up is even easier than the T4 Plus. That square-shaped rainfly did throw us for a loop for a minute. You gotta line up those Gazelle logos. We usually cook using fresh ingredients, but knowing we were going to arrive late with some snow and the sun going down, we decided to heat up spaghetti and meatballs for our first night. It was homemade though, Pete's famous sauce. Oh my God.
4 or 5, please. Cheers. Oh, it's hot.
Is it?
Man, it's so good.
The snow got heavier as the night went on, and our friend Bill was coming to meet us. Since the sun had already gone down and our dusting had turned into a blizzard, we decided to go meet him. Oh my God. Are you going to turn around?
Yeah, as long as it gets warmer rather than colder, so this stuff doesn't freeze up into ice, we'll be fine.
It's going to be 60 degrees today.
Yeah, right.
60.
Is it 60 degrees yet?
No, not yet, but it's going to be.
Now this is more like a dusting. Time and again, we see the effects of elevation on temperature and weather. As we drove down the mountain the next day and saw more and more green, we were a little dismayed. But that's what we love about East Coast camping. We get a lot of experiences that end up being the trips we still talk about. We've done water crossings. The trip before this one at Wharton State Forest in New Jersey was where Stompy took water in the cabin for the first time. We've been stuck in a bog before, that was at Wharton too. This wasn't the deepest water crossing we've done, but it's the first one across a flowing river in the middle of a forest. Definitely the most charming. We made it to our planned campsite for the evening, and it was beautiful, a beautiful, soupy mud pit. That meant that dispersed camping was out for tonight, and we would press on today to a campground in Davis, West Virginia. We were supposed to enjoy the afternoon in our campsite and run Canaan Loop tomorrow, but who wants a muddy campsite? Onward.
Let's see what it does.
The first tree in the road. We usually encounter a few trees. We were expecting a few trees. We had no idea what was in store. Whoa.
That was a tough one.
I'm scared of heights. Pete's not. Oh my God.
Road is open again.
Oh my God. That's good. It's off the road. It's off the road.
Yippee-ki-yay! I can get up here. It's only 37 miles back to civilization, so maybe camping on the road. Huh. He's just not laughing at my shit today. He's sick, huh?
Yeah.
He feels shitty. Everybody's fucking with him.
He does not feel good.
Yeah.
enough room.
Landscaping by Petey. Both of these vehicles are Nissan Xterras, but you might have noticed they look a little different. Stompy is Titan swap. The truck has the front end of a Nissan Titan, which gives a longer suspension travel, along with 35-inch tires. Roseanne, Bill's truck, is a lifted Xterra. You can see the suspension advantages of the Titan swap in these clips, but by the end of this trip, Roseanne is a lot cleaner than Stompy. There are pros and cons to Titan swapping, especially when you're overlanding. If you listen closely, you can hear the handheld GMRS radio jumping in for a swim downstream. It was an honorable death. Yeah.
So as soon as you put this on the internet, you're going to get 1,000 calls that say it wasn't wearing hearing protection.
It'd be nice to get 1,000 views.
Wasn't wearing safety goggles. Wasn't wearing...
Oh.
That's the end of the chain. Said it's nice that you've got a new chain, as long as it's the right chain.
Pretty sure it is. I always,
Come on,
Always have a spare.
Good man. Coming. Alright, so you want to try to hook it there and then drag it from this end or that end?
Oh, now that I think about it, we should drag it from this end.
Okay. Alright, if you want to give me the strap and I couldn't find your remote.
So what's the plan here, Bill?
I'm going to try to get this thing around this tree. There we go. There we go. So we're going to take and snatch this off the block here. If all goes according to plan, we'll be jamming. Pull it all to this side. Oh!
I know, right? Weren't we gonna stop at 2? Wasn't that gonna be our afternoon? Now look at this. Look at this. We're
Let's bring it through here so we've got that good angle. Let's bring it over more there so we can pull this.
I love your landscaping. Look at this tree. You don't stand a chance.
Hold on. All right. Go ahead. Pick it up. Snugly. 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 Keep going. You are snugly.
Jenny Pan, so we see the whole thing.
Okay. And that's how you move a tree. Snatch box.
Recovery gear. Is everything.
We made it to Davis with just enough light to set up camp and make dinner at Rite Campground. The RV sites were gravel, so no mud. We enjoyed leftover pulled pork, another reheat meal, but Pete smoked this for 10 hours a few days before on Easter.
I love
Delicious.
pulled pork, too. Well, you come from is it North Carolina where they kind of do the vinegar, the kind of white barbecue pork thing, or is that South Carolina? Actually, you know what it is? Pete looks an awful lot like my buddy that I just reconnected with, Bill Smith. They're both about the same height, build, they got the same shape of face, a little bit different.
Recently, we've been upgrading our camping gear to more durable, smaller, lighter, and faster. Here, we were comparing our new REI Flex-Lite Camp Dreamer chairs to Bill's top-of-the-line Helinox with a couple high-dollar add-on accessories. Both of us thought that our chairs were the winner, so everybody's happy.
Feels like it's pushing on me more. That feels like more like you're laying back.
If I had a pillow.
Right, which the bag you're supposed to roll up your towel and put it in there.
Hey, watch the hands, buddy.
We were going for more durable, smaller, lighter, and faster with our new gear, as we said. We got 3 out of 4. In the foreground, you can see one of our new cots. This was the first trip where we decided we weren't going to sleep on the ground on an air mattress. We've evolved to cots after starting with a giant air mattress, which is too much, then small backpacking air pads, too little, and now cots are just right. But we do still use the backpacking air pads. Blackwater Falls was one of my favorite parts of the trip. We got to see it all the way turned up because of all the rain and snow the previous day. They call it Blackwater Falls because it's black in the way that black tea is black, really more of a brown. It gets that amber color from the tannic acid of fallen hemlock and red spruce needles. T-shirt for shit. We began Canyon Rim Road feeling optimistic. We knew there was a possibility of another lumberjack session in the rain, but we held out hope that someone ran and cleared the trail yesterday. Nope. Here's where our major troubles of the day began. Because of the position of the tree, Pete attempted a cut that he knew could get the chain stuck. He'd done so well yesterday, but on this one, the luck ran out. But after the chain broke on the trail yesterday, we had stopped at the hardware store for a new spare. In his former life as a wedding photographer, Pete lived by the motto that 2 is 1 and 1 is none. The same seems to hold true in the overlanding and off-roading world. And that's not luck, that's being prepared, which is also the Boy Scout motto. And guess who was a Boy Scout? It's all connected.
That's the happy place right there.
Oh, that's so close. It's coming. Oh,
You've got that wanting to pinch it up that way. And
oh, yeah.
It's not bad.
cool, that's good. You'll be able to still use it. 60 more miles to go.
Little chainsaw surgery.
60 more miles to go. Go.
So we got the
Get that
chainsaw
front
out.
piece sitting on the. I thought you were going to do it up there.
Now we're gonna put on a new chain on the blade. There you go. Alright. Alright. Yeah, that's stuck. Alright. Ooh. Whoa. Steering wheel's turning. I'm in neutral, my foot's on the brake, I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Heave ho, honey. Maybe give a little gas. There you go. Stop for a minute. Pete, stop for a minute. Let the battery catch up.
Whoa. Bill stepped in as chainsaw coach when we got the chainsaw stuck the second time. Pete was under the weather, Andy was sick, and he wasn't making the best decisions. Thanks, Bill.
You see what the tree just did?
As you can see, we were the first to run Canaan Loop and Canyon Rim after a major storm. And now that we're back at home, that's better than if it was 2 beautiful sunny days. We have a story to tell and remember. Looks pretty clear. That's a pretty good trick. That's awesome. Canyon Rim Road is just that, a scenic road with views of a deep canyon into the forest. Any stock rig can run this road easily, except for this well-known washout that has never been repaired. The videos never do obstacles like this justice, but there's certainly a bit of a rollover to driver's side risk here. The other side of the washout is pretty steep and some rigs get stuck and need the winch. Stompy was able to climb it easily with both lockers engaged.
Alright, so you don't need to keep it. But what I want you to do is guide me and get my driver's tire right straight, aiming almost for where you're at.
We threw this rope across in case Bill needed to winch his rig at some point. By having the rope to his winch line, we would be able to set up to pull his rig out without going into the creek. Also, by running the line, we were ensuring that we wouldn't actually have to use it. We should have taken the chainsaw out sooner. If we had done that, there wouldn't have been any trees blocking the trails. Sort of like the Murphy's Law of overlanding.
Can't see your track. Back again.
Be careful. Okay. Oh. Pete, pull the rope.
I mean, the chainsaw will cut all day long, as long as you don't get it stuck.
Easy for you to say. After clearing the washout and trees much bigger than this one, our spirits were high and we made quick work of the remaining down trees.
Good boy, now go put the chain. You didn't find the saw one.
One more.
Okay, cut this one. Now cut. You got a pretty good insurance policy on here.
All right, sometimes you just have to acknowledge that you can't keep climbing up on top of the roof. There are going to be trees. It's going to happen.
Almost.
Now, of course, since we Chainsaw strapped the on the back of the chainsaw truck. to the back of the truck, no more trees. Unbelievable. Okay, there were more trees, but we didn't need the chainsaw. Careful, careful, careful. Yeah. This is Olsen Tower. We were looking forward to climbing it and looking out over the Alleghenies, but it was just too foggy and drizzly. We were tired too. There was an observation tower coming up the next day, so we just ate lunch and moved on.
We need to pull over. We've got about 25 cars stacked up behind us.
After Canyon Rim Road, we decided to freestyle the forest road trails around Thomas, West Virginia. After a time, Bill decided to head back to camp, and we did a little more exploring. There was one more trail on Gaia GPS that looked too tantalizing to pass up. It paid off. Based on the rainfall, we figured most dispersed sites would still be soupy mud pits. So we decided to stay put at the lovely, cozy Rite Campground. They have gas fireplaces in the bathhouses. The next morning, we decided to pick up the Allegheny Discovery route and check out a dispersed campsite that we were supposed to stay at the previous night. Our first excursion of the day was at the Fernow Experimental Forest. Before long, we ran into a giant washout of the road that was being repaired. This caused us to backtrack to Parsons, West Virginia to have some pizza, and then we took the pavement around to meet back up with our planned leg of the Allegheny Discovery route. We refer to sites like this as purples because of the color we use in Gaia. Pete marked it as a potential purple, and when we saw it in person, it lived up to the color. And it had gravel. We could have stayed here, but we'd made the decision to stay at the campground that morning. It wasn't meant to be, but we'll be back. Our second big anticipated water crossing was at the dry fork at the Cheat River. We had a feeling that the water would be too high from all the recent precipitation, and we were right. We wanted to see for ourselves anyway, just to be sure. The next morning, we broke camp and drove home to be ready for work on Monday.